going to look at how to change a unit to a different unit. So here we're starting out with an amount of fluid ounces, and I want to know how many cups that is. There are kind of two different ways to do this. There are actually multiple ways, but I'm going to show you two different ones. I'm going to start with one way. On the next example, I'll do the second way, and then on the other problem, you'll work it on your own, and then I'll show you both ways on that one. Okay? So the first way is by proportion. So with the proportion, we're going to start with what we have, and I always want to include my units. So I have 28 fluid ounces. I want to change that to cups, so I'm going to put that over X cups. Okay? I'm going to make this equal to what my conversion between fluid ounces and cups is. When you do the proportion, your units have to stay in the same position. So fluid ounces was up here. Fluid ounces will be on the top on our right side. Cups was on the bottom, so cups is on the bottom over here. Now, if I use my chart, which is in your book on page 292, it says that 8 fluid ounces are equal to 1 cup. So I'm going to fill in 8 fluid ounces is equal to 1 cup. Okay? Because this is our ratio of cups to ounces. Okay? I have 28. I want to find the equal amount of cups. So I want this to be the same ratio. Now you can look, and is there something we can multiply by 8 to get 28? Nothing really easy, so let's do our cross products. So we'll have 1 times 28 is equal to our other cross product, X times 8. So now simplifying this, I get that 28 equals 8x, so x times 8 is the same as 8x. Well, to solve for x, since it's being multiplied by 8, I need to divide by 8. So 28 divided by 8 is going to give me 3.5. And then 8x divided by 8, those 8's cancel out, and it just leaves me with x. So 28 fluid ounces is equal to 3.5 cups. Okay? So if we check that, yeah, about 3 times 8 is close to 28. Okay? Now, let's look at the next problem. So now we have 10 pints, and I want to know how many quarts that is. So this is your second way to work these problems. That again, we're going to start with 10 pints, and I want to make this a fraction, okay? Before with proportions we made it a rate, so that's why we put it with this unit. I want to make this a fraction. Well, remember, to make a whole number a fraction, you just put it over 1, okay? Now, I'm going to find an equivalent fraction to this. So think about if you have 2/3 and you want to find an equivalent fraction. You multiply the numerator and denominator by the same thing. Okay? So here, this is the same idea, but it's a little different because our units play a part. I want to get rid of pints. So I want to put pints in the denominator. Okay? I want quarts, so I'm going to put quarts in the numerator. Because a pint divided by a pint, one's on top, one's on bottom, they cancel each other out. So now my pints are gone. Okay? But here, I need to use my conversion. So how many quarts are in how many pints? Well, if I go over here, pints and quarts. So there's 2 pints and 1 quart. So over here, I have 2 pints and 1 quart. Now, you could have also looked at this, sorry to go back, as cross-canceling, that if we have 10 over 3 equals 7 over 5, that we can cross-cancel, we can divide both of those by 5. Okay, same thing here, we're dividing both of these by the pints. So if we look, multiplying my numerators will give me 10 times 1 quart, which is 10 quarts, divided by 1 times 2, which is 2, Well, what is 10 quarts divided by 2? That would give me 5 quarts. Okay? So 10 pints is equal to 5 quarts. Now, I want you to try this one on your own. You can either use proportions or you can use multiplying it by an equivalent ratio or equivalent fraction. I'll show you both in just a second. All right, let's look at a proportion first. So remember, we want to make this our first rate. So 7.5 feet over X yards, because this is what I'm trying to find. This needs to equal my other rate of feet to yards. So going over here, or just thinking about it, there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So I'll put a 3 over 1. 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay? It's a proportion, so I'm going to use my cross products. 7.5 times 1 is 7.5. X times 3 is 3x. Now I'm going to solve for x, so I'm going to divide by 3. And 7.5 divided by 3 is 2.5. And 3x divided by 3 leaves me with x. So 7.5 feet is equal to 2.5 yards. So that's using a proportion. If you did it by using the equivalent fraction, you would have 7.5 feet over 1. Okay? Put that over 1. We want to get rid of the feet, so it goes under here. Yards will go on top because that's what we're trying to get. So diagonal from each other. Now, what's our rate between these? So it's 3 feet are in 1 yard. So we're multiplying fractions so we can cross cancel. Well, I can take out a feet in those diagonals. Multiply my numerators. 7.5 times 1 yard is 7.5 yards over 1 times 3, which is 3. So dividing my numbers, 7.5 divided by 3 gives you the 2.5 yards. So 7.5 feet is equal to the 2.5 yards. So either way, you get the same answer.